question. I would say to parents, just be mindful of how much you may unintentionally be increasing their anxiety before they go. For example, sometimes it would be less is more approach, in that you might, because you're anxious as a parent, that might be transforming it and getting across to the child. So in times of stress, children take their cues from significant adults like parents. So just be mindful of, in fact, how much you're saying, how much you're talking about it, how much you're rationalising the decision, which is good that you want them prepared. Just be mindful of your fly on the wall and how much of a conversation you are having, because sometimes you may go over the top with that. And the most practical way is to spend much time at the school. I mean, if the boy knows he's going, even though he hasn't spent a night there, but he's familiar with the surrounds, the grounds, some of the staff he may come in contact with. So when you're choosing the school and you made that decision, visiting there can certainly take the edge off for the boy. But my suggestion would be, you picked a school, they're professionals, boarding is different to what it was 20, 30 years ago, have trust in them, and sometimes less is more, and don't go too far to rationalise the process and get all anxious about it.
Boarding school.
I'd certainly encourage the parents to encourage the children to involve themselves in all opportunities that are there at school, sport, culturally, because I believe busy boys are happy boys.
Is to understand that as parents you're no longer going to be able to answer your son's or daughter's every single need. So you're in a position now where you really need to transition your children from being in a position where you can tell them where their toothbrush is, you can tell them where they need to put their washing and those sort of things, to saying to your boys or your girls that they need to go and see this person now. So if you get those phone calls late at night and your son or your daughter is worried about something, you really need to point them in the right direction and maybe step back from nurturing a little bit, because they obviously need to become their own independent people.
The boys will have a lot more opportunities to become more responsible. They'll be tidying their room, organising their laundry, picking that up in the mornings, and just one thing that maybe trying to foster a culture where the boys are taking more responsibility at home before they come into boarding. Just checking their room, making sure that they've got some sort of routine at home as well. Laundry, or bringing their laundry into your laundry space there at home, and just sort of guiding them and preparing them for those situations here in boarding would be great.
I think really for me, the biggest advice I give to parents is, even before the boy or girl comes to boarding, is to, when you come to visit and look at prospective schools, is really spend time at the school. So whether it's a tour or what we do at our particular schools, we spend half a day. We go through the entire boarding establishment, spend time at in the dining hall, have a meal there with the students that are already there, spend time with teachers, looking at facilities. You want your child to be very comfortable in the surroundings of the facility, so they feel empowered to make that decision and they feel comfortable, so that they know before they start what sort of environment that they're coming into.
I think the most important thing, or one of the most important things, is to turn up early. Maybe have a couple of days holiday in the town before you come to boarding school, so that the whole process is not such a massive shock of arriving in the car, getting chucked out in the boarding house, and all of a sudden everything's over in an hour and the kids left standing going, what do I do next? So make sure they're a little bit more conditioned to their surroundings before they start their day one of term in their new school environment.
I think that they need to understand that the boys are going to go through some changes. It's going to be difficult initially to start off with, for the child to make adjustments in relation to homesickness and that sort of thing. But it really is an environment that fosters independence among the child, and that they're really put into a situation where they have to, fundamentally change their character and organise and manage themselves to adjust.